Okay, so the first thing we want to take a look at the air is the boundaries. Apologise for the slightly wiggly line, but you can clearly see the boundaries marked around here. It's walled all the way along. There is a sort of enclosed area over on the left hand side that is part. It sometimes looks like it isn't, but it is part, and it was just an animal enclosure. So as we start to fly over, you'll see that the land is flat. It's got an irregular shape, but very usable shape. Or nevertheless, it's got its own water source, as in a well. So it's really good for agriculture. If you wanted to come here and do some sort of self-sufficiency project or low impact living project, this would be perfect for you. I mean, it really is a really great property for that kind of thing. I mean, the property itself is quite extensive, and as we come closer, I'll start to describe what buildings are what. You can always go back and have a look at the outline. That the building on the right that's just disappearing from view is not part of the property. That's the neighbours. But now we see the greenhouse. The new part of the construction is all part of the building, and so is the building to the right with the sloped roof from right to left, and the white building on the other side is neighbours. Now, this has got full planning for the work that has been started, and I believe it can actually go up to 2 stories. You can extend the property living area using what's being done here, or you could just make more of an enclosure with it. You can, at this point, it's quite easy to change the planning permission, and Sarah's going to explain all of that later on as well, as much as as well as taking a full guided tour inside the buildings. You can see it's on Tarmac Road. It's actually a one-way street that go around the village, so traffic is very limited. I can't even remember if a car passed. There are two vehicular entrances, one on the far side with the red sliding gate, and one just here on the main road next to the garage. So access on and off the land would be really easy if you were to use some sort of ride-on tractor or mowing device or whatever. And also you've got the entrance for your car. Now the garage also kind of doubles up as and you can just park in the courtyard, of course, because it does have like a big bread oven and sort of entertainment area inside that big carport or garage area. Here you can clearly see the big sun terraces, at the moment, which would be even bigger if you extended those roofs out to where the new part of the building is planned. So you can see it really is. Sorry about the flying. Wasn't my best day with the drone, and I don't really even have the wind to blame today. Just wasn't my best effort. Looked better when I was doing it than now. So we come around. As you can see, the roof is really nice and straight. So, which is a really good indication that there are no problems with that at all. Once you pull back, the whole square is a stone-built square.
Hello, good afternoon. So here we are at another property, completely different property again. We are up in Vila Nova de Poiares, in a village just literally 5 minutes away from Vila Nova de Poiares this time. We have got a large house, it's existing, it's about 180 square metres existing. There was a building project approved on this to extend it. We've got 5,000 square metres of walled land, nice views all around, large private courtyard. Unfortunately, personal circumstances have meant the owners are now unable to finish this, but the project's approved, it's all legal, but the person buying it needs to come along and finish it. They can alter it, but there is a planning process, but it can be beautiful. At the moment, it is not the prettiest of properties. However, when we get round to the front, you can see it's stone, and if you wanted to chip away at that stone and expose it, completely change it, it would look like a traditional manor house. So I'm stood on part of the old decking, the new decking, I'm not sure. It's part of the new build going on around me. As you come this way, if Paul looks down, you've got a really nice, large courtyard garden, which I guess would be your central feature because the land is large. So there's space. We'll go down and have a proper look afterwards, but there's space under there for a large covered area. It goes into the new build. You've obviously got the existing fruit trees, so it's an orange in front of us, and on the right, I think that's a pomegranate. And maybe if you just pan round onto this balcony here, because that's quite pretty and it shows the original property. And right, something important to say. So the wiring and all the electrics inside the existing build now were all new. Parts of it have been done, parts haven't. So we're just going to go and have a look. But what you would end up with is a property of approximately 250 to 300 square metres, depending what you decided to do with it. Actually, what is important to show, you're coming round, you'll see the land. It's all within a stone wall. The little area you can see that's fenced off was for, I think the neighbour actually said goats. But so the land goes round to the stone wall, comes up, it's not quite square, but it's nearly square, runs along the back of the neighbour's garage, and then back up into this, to the back of what is the garage on this property. Now, the land has got a gentle slope away. It's really pretty, nice far-reaching views. All around, actually, it's really very pretty. So, if we come through here, I think we're walking on the balcony, or the veranda, should I say? Now, it's still got the old windows. I imagine you're going to replace those. But the fact that the electrics and the electrics in the water's all done is obviously really valuable. So, in this room here, actually, you've got great height everywhere. Plenty of light because you've got that main door, the two windows, and you've got the fireplace behind you. And behind me here is a bedroom. Marble windowsills. I'm sorry, I can't open that shutter because it's broken. But the views are pretty all around. So this room is big enough for a double bed and a big wardrobe along one side. Then, if you to go back out along the corridor, the height is actually quite amazing. You've probably nearly got 2 metres in height. If we're looking out the window, you can see, so this is the opposite direction to where we were a minute ago. Now, actually, you've got quite a good display of an exposed stone manor house there. I think Paul just caught the edge of it. Now, that's what this would look like if you just took the render off. But the new part, obviously, that wouldn't. But with this, the original square is stone, top and bottom. So, if you keep going, as I say, good height throughout, and then the hallways are wide. A smaller room here. This wouldn't quite make a double. Be an office or a child's bedroom, either or. Your doors can all be if you're inclined to do so, they could easily be stripped back and repainted. Same goes for the shutters. Now this is a decent sized double. Now this one overlooks the courtyard where we were. And it depends if you want to go for the pure modern or if you want to go for trying to incorporate the rustic and expose some of the stone and keep your shutters. They do look lovely when they've been stripped back and repainted. And then you're looking down into the courtyard. So just to summarise, along this actually lovely hardwood flooring, which looks in good condition throughout. So we've come into a main lounge. There's a bedroom at the end of it. Could of course be ripped out and make that lounge really big. There's a room either side of you. Here we've got the bathroom. If I just let you go in there, you can see the bathtub's new. Around the bathtub, the tiling's new. Everything's freshly painted and white and nice. Original tiles still remain. And then on the opposite, unfortunately, I can't get the blind open. But this is where, oh, hang on, I've forgotten Paul. In here, I'm not sure whether your lighting's, I can't get the blind open, it's snapped, I'm sorry. But this was either going to be the kitchen or this is the temporary kitchen. But as I said, no, because all the piping's new and the electrics are new, so I imagine the plan was...
This was going to be the kitchen.
Yeah. But then downstairs is enormous as well, so you really can come in, you can live on this level, you've got a functioning kitchen, bathroom, 3 bedrooms and a lounge. You can easily live here whilst you decide what you want to do. Obviously, you're looking at the plans that are in existence, you see whether you want to keep them, whether you want to alter them, and you could end up with an absolutely really gorgeous property here. So you just need a bit of vision. So going on out that way, we come into what would have been called a winter lounge. I have absolutely not a clue what they were going to do, and I'm certainly not going to open this door because it just drops down into the ether as the floor has been taken away. It looks like some sort of insulation's been put on, but I'm not 100% sure. This hasn't been renovated. And then we're back out onto the veranda, the covered veranda. Actually, instead of going that way, we go downstairs, I think. So, coming down from the upstairs, you can see, so we've got marble staircase. This is all exterior. Obviously, that's probably quite clear, but depends what you keep and what you don't keep. Now, in these older houses, the underneath was always separate. And it still remains so. Now, here, coming in here, you can see you have evidence of the work that was being done, i.e. the insulation on the roof, the fact that there's a great big water tank in the corner, new. In the other corner, if you did a circular round to your left, you can see the wiring that's gone in, the new electrics, the fact that actually they really did start this project. This is a really big room, and I'm not sure, it's going to be up to the new buyer to decide how they utilise. Do they knock through? Do they link it together? That's a water filtering system. So I'm pretty sure there's a borehole just outside here. I saw the top. That's the water filtration. There's something going on here that may have been the start of a kitchen, or it may have been an ensuite for a bedroom. The whole structure is supported by the concrete beams and the metal. I don't know the proper name.
Just the plasterboarding.
Well, yeah, it's to support the plasterboarding. I just don't know the name of these things. But the work that was being done, it was well underway. So you link, I mean, I'd link it all together and put an internal staircase in. But somebody else might come along and look at this as the potential for rentals and bed and breakfast, and you'd live upstairs. It depends if you're a large family or whether you're a couple, or what your circumstances are. Now, I don't know if your lighting's going to work in here, because there's no lighting. Okay? But again, concrete reinforced, insulation's not been done in here. That was a window, could be opened up. Doorway, was a doorway, could be opened up. I think that's writing on the wall about where an electricity box was going to go. Another window could be opened up. Concrete above, wood above. So there's a real mixture of things going on here, but these spaces are so unusual to find in the old houses. It has to be in a manor house style, where you get the height and the big spaces. And here you can see, again, the plumbing, the piping, it's all new. Now, the infrastructure, although it doesn't look particularly pretty, the infrastructure, the hard work has essentially been done. Now, as you come out here, I think, if you just follow me over here. So we've got the courtyard. They even put in the dry grasses, you know. Someone started work here. And you come to under here. So this is where I was stood on top of here at the beginning. And just look at this bread oven. I mean, that's a beast. So this was some sort of industrial, this isn't just your regular bread oven. Can you imagine this being your covered barbecue area for the summer? You've got a courtyard to your right, a beautiful house. And then if you turn around and come and look out there, just see what it could be. It's beautiful. Very, very private. And there's your land. There's an awful lot you could do with this area. You turn to the right and you can see the stone wall which bounds the land. So this, just to coin a phrase, that classic one, but this is all about potential. Oh look, here we go. Ta-da! Shall I put the sign up somewhere a bit more visible? And this was all part of the build. This was all part of the new plans. So anyone interested in this property, we send you the plans so that it's too much to explain. We send you a copy of the plans, what was approved, in order for you to understand what the owner's plans were. Sorry. Where are you going? Okay, so you're looking back down. I mean, that's huge, isn't it? Hang on.
The whole thing's huge.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be also. It doesn't have to be, because you don't have to do all of this if you don't want to. You are permitted to make alterations to plans, especially, you know, life doesn't always go as we plan it, and people have to make consideration for that, including the town hall. Something I wanted to show you while you're close by. Excuse me. This is what it could look like. Now this hasn't been pointed properly, but all of this, you can see there's a bit of brickwork in there, but essentially the brickwork will be under the windows it's supporting. Okay, all of this could be taken off. Oh, didn't realise you were that close. And it would look like an old stone manor house. Be completely different.
It is an old stone manor house.
Okay, but it's green and it looks like it's got covered in concrete, and you know, green is actually my favourite colour, but maybe, you know, not quite like this. So you need to put your imagination hat on but this could be absolutely stunning. Am I just hiding behind a tree? Right. So, in summary, enormous well there, borehole there, new electrics, new plumbing, 5,000 square metres of virtually flat land, beautiful views all around. I'm not going to ask you to turn around, but the way I'm looking, it's gorgeous. It's all walled, it's habitable, 3 bedrooms, kitchen, bathroom and lounge with fireplace, plus the potential to do a whole variety of different things. You make a big family home, you turn it into a business. You very much feel like you're in the countryside. Again, we're not quite on the edge of a village, but it's private. And again, you're 5 minutes to Vila Nova de Poiares, which it's quite a big town. It's not Portuguese style, it's borderline city. But we were in 20 minutes, 25 minutes to Coimbra, which is university, trains, everything you need, plus loads of culture and history. So it's a really, really nice property. The price is going to come up. It's an absolute bargain. It just needs someone with a little bit of imagination and a little bit brave to come along and say, yes, I can do that. And this could be absolutely stunning. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've liked the video. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.